Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Lord's Racing League. I'm your host, Big C, along here with Little C.
Hey, what's up?
And it's our last race in the Mustang versus Camaro's series.
And it has been a very long series, as you have well known. So we're going to go back and take a look at these drivers and see how they got here.
Exactly. So let's see how they all got here. Round one, Preacher kind of had a little bit of a slow start. Mr. Mojo pulled out of there, but not much longer. He showed us how to do the perfect bump and run. Gave Scooter, rooted him up on and out of the way, and from there he was able to scoot on past him and take the win. In the next round we had Chris Hood. He was up front there. It is the lone Mustang up there with Solomon and Papa D. Right out of the gate he was able to get to the outside, pull away and get the lead, but Solomon didn't let him get away for too long. Pulling into here through turn 4, he was able to bump him and eventually coming out of turn 5 takes to the outside, takes the lead away from him. Although it didn't last for too long, because Solomon's problem is seeming like keeping it on all fours. Rolls up out of turn 4, and Chris was able to just squeeze right on past him to take back the lead and was trying to hold on to it. Going into lap 6 on the restart, we thought Solomon was pretty far behind, but he showed him that he wasn't done racing Chris just yet. He pulled up on the back, got to the inside of turn 5, and takes over the lead going into the final lap. But coming out of turn 4, he loses it, and Chris snakes to the inside, takes the advantage, and then moves on to the victory, while Solomon just creeps on past there. And Hyper Shad and Triz, they kind of paired off together in their opening round, so they know each other pretty well. Hyper Shad actually had the pole and took the lead but in the first lap, for some odd reason, he ends up driving off into the mountain and parking himself, which gave Louie the dog the lead, but Triz was right there on the back bumper, constantly beating and banging her, trying to get around her, but Louie the dog did a great job holding her back there for the longest time. And it wasn't until one late restart on lap 6, Triz was able to get the power down, pull out to the front, and then from there she just showed just how fast that Camaro really is, coming to the line and moving on to the next round. In the first semis, Chris and Triz, they squared off together, and Triz, of course, took off pretty fast right out the gate. Chris tried several times to make the pass and just at least let Triz know that he was still there and just kept beating down her back bumper. But in the end, Triz was able to find a groove and then just pull well away from everybody and just kind of had a nice little easy win coming across the line. In semifinal round 2, Preacher, he had to start all the way in the back, but it didn't take him too long just to show that everybody, all the other competitors there, just who had the fastest cars to come blasting through there. And on lap 2, JC Hayes flips over, giving Preacher the lead. Although even through the final stages, he had to hold off charging Andre, and even Rodney gave him a run for his money here coming down into lap 3, or into turn 3. But in the end, he was able to calm down, get the line, and come across them first to move on to the finals. And then, of course, last but not least, we had the Survivor race. What a great time that was. Chris, he had a kind of an easy start, starting way up front. But look at where Hyper Shad started, all the way just about mid-pack there towards the back. But he had to battle his way and weave it through multiple wrecks, like it happened straight out the gate on the first one. On lap 2, Chris Hood was able to just hold back just a little, but Rodney comes out, slides out. Chris takes to the outside, passes, and takes the lead. From that point on, I don't think anybody else kind of had any kind of a charge for him. But Hyper Shad constantly was having to bob and weave through traffic, through wrecks. On the last restart, Chris has the lead, Solomon second, Hyper Shad was in third. Coming out of the turn, Chris and Solomon lose it. Hyper Shad passes up to second, tries to take over first, but Solomon still wasn't done with that one. Coming down here into turn 5, he opens the door and Solomon's able to get past him and hold him off all the way up until the last lap. And on the last lap, Solomon loses it. Hyper Shad comes through, blasts him, gets up in the second. And just when you think everything goes all nice and calm, Solomon tried his best to make it to the line, but Solomon beat him to move on into the finals.
And now for the driver intros. Starting first on the pole, we got Preacher in his Ford Mustang Super Snake.
That's right. Pulling up on the outside in the iconic bright green Camaro number 22, we got Triz.
Starting third in his Ford Shelby, we got Chris Hood.
Pulling up the rear in that bright blue, sweet-looking Mustang, we got the Hyper Shad. So let's see who's going to bring this home and take home the championship. Lap 1,
There's only one Camaro, so it will be interesting.
Oh yeah, never realized that. I guess Triz got the work cut out there, but they're taking off pretty far.
My.
Everybody's already leaving them in the dust. Man, look at that Camaro. Put the power down, moving well away from everybody.
It almost looks like Chris and Hypershad might have got held up.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's big gap. I mean, I realize that's a fast Camaro, but man, I didn't know it was that fast. Preach comes across the line already at 2
Holy
seconds
smokes.
behind, and look at Chris Hood and Hypershad. What in the world happened to them? We might have to go back and check to see if we got an angle on that.
Yeah, well, here we go. Look at Triz, pulling way away, and Chris actually was the one who got held up, and Hypershad had to T-bone him. I mean, he didn't have another option.
Yeah, I want to say there you kind of take up all the room, and unfortunately, Chris lost the back end coming out of turn 2. So many drivers do that, but they were able to straighten it out and keep on moving. Triz, however, has definitely figured out how to keep this Camaro nice and flat.
Chris and Hypershad look like they've fallen even further behind. Hopefully they get their game on, or else Triz and Chris are just going to pull away, and they won't even know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it looks like Chris is trying to catch up a little bit, but Preacher, he's kind of keeping it in there. But I tell you what, Triz is definitely just moving away, coming out of lap 3. He's definitely pulling away from Preacher. He's got this thing all nice and smooth. Triz has definitely figured out how to get this track. I mean, look at that. I think definitely moving well away. We see Preach coming around. Chris is coming out. Man, what happened to Hypershad? He is way back there.
Good night.
Coming across the line at lap 4. Oh, it looks like, is that Chris on his hood?
Yeah. Oh, here comes Hypershad.
No pun intended, huh? But yeah, Hypershad is able to pass him. Going to come on down to the finish, but it looks like Chris Hood is going to be moving onto the back as he comes around on his hood.
Yeah, Chris on his hood. How iconic.
There you go.
Look at him go way too high, flips it over. That's a real bummer. And then Hypershad, he eventually came along, but boy, it's a good thing, they got regrouped.
Yeah, I'm gonna say they're all bunched back up. Oh, look at Preach. He puts the power down, shows Triz that he's still got a little bit of momentum there. Hypershad closes in, but loses it. Triz comes up, hits the front bumper, gets Preach a little loose, and then here comes Triz, takes the lead back, saying, no, I like that position. I like having a nice open front windshield. Nobody in front of me, moves it out there.
Oh, wow.
Hypershad and Chris are battling back there for third and fourth.
Chris and Hypershad can just not get separated from each other. Oh, wow. Chris almost got put in the wall there by Hypershad, maybe, but Preach got way out. He was the star of the show for a little while.
Yeah, at least for a few moments anyway.
And then even Hypershad gave Triz a little bump, but Triz gave Preach a bump, and that's what got him loose, and Triz just drove right on by.
Yeah, well, here's hoping that they're able to close back up to him or something happens, because from what we've seen, generally when Triz gets out there to a big lead, nobody else can even catch up, and it looks like holding true to it right now. Here comes Preach coming out of turn 4, or turn 3.
Wow.
And look, Triz is coming across the line, and they were just coming up out of turn 3. Preach is pulling up behind. I see the caution is out. Obviously not for Preacher. Chris is off into the grass, and I don't see Hypershad. Looks like it's saying he didn't finish. Oh, there he is. He's flipped over on the ghetto straight. So I guess hopefully we got an angle. We'll have to go back and check to see what happened here.
Well, Hypershad was already going backwards, and that is definitely a recipe for disaster. Wow, just up on the wall, flips over. Chris was trying to figure out where to go, and eventually he figured it. Well, he sort of figured it out.
He figured it out because he kept moving.
Yeah, but not enough. He, because he hit him, he slowed down a lot, and that's what ended up getting him stranded in turn 4.
Yeah, kind of got him bogged down, but here we go, lap 6, all of them bunched back up. Triz puts the power down again. That Camaro, I tell you, I'm definitely a Mustang fan because I got one, but I tell you, that LS power is really showing up right about now and is smoking all of these Shelbys. So hopefully they can figure out how to start working together rather than fighting each other, but what it looks like is going on, because Triz now has opened up to about a 1.5 second lead. Everybody's keeping close. Maybe the tires are starting to get worn in here, and everybody's starting to, might be able to catch up to them. But here we go with Triz coming out of turn 2 and pulling away. Man, I don't know. It looks like that car is just pulling so far away, spinning out, going backwards, coming to the line on lap 8. Let's see how far back Preach coming out of turn 5. He is 4 seconds. What in the world is going on with these? I'm feeling bad with these Mustangs. It's almost a whooping.
I mean, he lost 3.5 seconds in a lap. That is absolutely terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how a car can be that much faster than another one, but maybe it's in the driver. I know some of you Chevy fans are definitely going to say it's in the car.
It's the LS power.
There we go. I know everybody wants to LS swap everything out there, but we're not going to do that right now. coming to the line. Only 2 laps left. Lap 9. Let's see how far back. Man, look, they're almost 10 seconds behind Triz. I would say that he's going to be jumping off the turn 1, and they're just now getting on there.
I'd say the only hope for these Mustangs is if there's a caution, and right now they're still looking pretty good.
Yeah, I want to say everybody. That's one thing I have to say in this race. Very few cautions.
Yeah.
Everybody's driving very good and smooth. I think part of it's because Triz gets up and out there. Oh,
no.
There's a caution.
Right as we say
coming out of turn 4.
Commentator's curse.
Oh, Preacher's on his own. Oh, Chris Hood smacks into him, runs into the mountain. Hyper Shad is going to move up to second, almost 11 seconds behind. Chris Hood's going to be third, and Preacher's falling all the way to the back. And with only 1 lap to go, what in the world happened?
This was kind of the miracle from heaven for Hyper Shad, because look at Preacher just, well, you know, he did the bump and run in the corner.
And he's up on 2 wheels for so long.
He almost looked like he got bumped and run.
Yeah.
And then here come Hyper Shad and Chris, and Hyper Shad almost gets put to the mountain, but Chris was completely off of the track, and he eventually gets straight on the side of the track. Wow, final lap, and it's a restart.
Here we go. Let's see what happens. Last lap, it comes down to this. Triz gets out there. Like
whoa.
Hey, Hyper Shad to the inside. He takes over the lead. Check this one out. Preacher's trying to come up and even fight for first, second, and third here. Hyper Shad, it looks like he's holding off Triz just a little bit. Coming out of turn 4, Triz gets up on the rail. Hyper Shad to the front.
Wow.
Hey, there you go. Hyper Shad stole this one on the last lap from Triz. And I don't see what Chris said. Chris is parked up here coming out of turn 1.
He wasn't on his hood.
That wasn't on his hood, but let's check this one out. I can't believe this. Hyper Shad takes the inside.
And Triz just smoked the tires off the start or something, and Chris gets straight. He's just like, I give up.
Yeah, he spins out and unfortunately gets parked.
And look at Hyper Shad just pull way away. Triz was just trying to get past him, couldn't get past him.
Yeah, I think had too much momentum, trying to use all the throttle, and gets up on the rails and loses speed.
Well, that LS wasn't too handy when it was going in reverse, apparently.
Yeah, I would say there's more than just the LS at that point. You still got to have the handle and still got to know what direction you're going to be going.
Absolutely.
But here's your winner, Hyper Shad. He is your champion of the Mustang versus Camaro. I still can't believe it. Definitely was an awesome race with an unexpected finish. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this series and this race as a whole. If you did, drop a comment down below. Let us know about it. We're going to put this on pause just a little bit to revamp our continuous track to make it a little bit smoother, a little bit better interactive. So until then, we'll see you then. God bless.